Hi, my name is Vanessa Cornejo, and my topic is alternative beverages that compete with dairy milk. Milk doesn't just come from cows anymore. The most commonly known alternatives are soy, almond, and oat. Plant-based milks have taken over the shelves in grocery stores from modern branding to promote healthier options, and the rise of alternative milks has grown into a battle between dairy and non-dairy. Why does this matter? It's not just about a competition, but a story about health, nutrition, sustainability, and consumer trust/labels. Calling non-dairy milk when it doesn't have the same nutrients as dairy milk is deceptive. Alternative milks don't offer proteins like calcium and vitamin B12. The FDA draft guidelines recommends that alternative milk options should have a disclaimer expressing that they are not nutritionally equivalent to real milk, because consumers may not be aware. Thousands of dairy farms are closing around the U.S., according to Americans Love Soda, Fancy Water, and Fake Milk. Can the dairy industry keep up? In the first half of the year, 449 dairy farms were lost in Wisconsin alone, nearly 25% more than during the first 6 months of 2018, a year that saw the loss of 2 farms. Farms are having a huge struggle with competing with large corporations, and for small communities, this is a tradition and economical loss. Plant-based milks are promoted as healthier/clean alternatives that are better for you. However, they don't tell you about the sugar and seed oils and low nutrition values it has. For example, here is Oatly oat milk. It has 7 grams of sugar. Another example here is Silk vanilla almond milk that has 13 grams of sugar. This is false marketing. Both of these are used for healthy alternatives, but they are full of sugar. Tensions that I noticed was number 1, is the word milk a defined word or is it an understanding? Plant-based milk is familiar, nourishing, and shows childhood-like ties familiar to consumers. And corporations trying to use the word to promote their products is a money grab. Purdy implies there's a war over the definition of milk between dairy farms and food startups, and Trump may settle it. Non-dairy groups are trying to steal the cultural and tradition consumers trust without offering the nutritional value of real milk. Another tension brought to my attention was the shifting in rural communities. Farmers and communities are not just losing their job, but their tradition. Plant-based milks have been booming because they are backed up by big companies, unlike the dairy farms that are family-run and small. The last tension that I noticed was that both dairy and plant-based claim health benefits, but aren't equal. Non-dairies insist that they are low calories, with some with low sugar and also little protein. Yet marketing is set as clean and natural. Are consumers being poorly informed? Nutritional and marketing standards aren't being truthful. Misleading labels are being added, throwing the word healthy around. Some take-home points that stood out to me during the research was dairy milk is still a main source of protein. Although farms are shutting down and production of non-dairies is booming, milk still has its spot on the My Plate chart. Another thing is ethical and accurate labeling should be mandated. Nutritional transparency should not be optional. If the term milk is used on non-dairies, the packaging should differentiate itself from dairy milk nutrients, and if so, should be promoted as such. Even if some people understand the difference, the labeling should be for all. And lastly, milk alternatives are better for the environment and animal welfare. Dairy production produces almost 3 times more greenhouse gas emissions than plant-based alternatives, and almost 9 times the land, as shown on this BBC climate analysis chart right here. So overall, even if plant-based products aren't perfect, they are a significant step towards a humane and sustainable food system. Dairy versus plant-based milks go beyond a drink and reflect how we care about our health, honesty, and sustainability. And this is my works cited. Thank you.